Hey you guys, it's Peter and welcome to my channel. Peter likes books. And I'm sitting outside of my library. I just went into my library for the first time. God, I bet it's been probably almost a year. It might have been I bet I went around Christmas time, but I think it could be last October that I went to the library. It's been a really, really long time. So I went into the library and I can't find my library card, so I actually went up to the counter and she was like, well, you can check out books using there's something on my, hold on my screen. She was like, you can check out library books using your license. And I was like, well, I know it's at home somewhere. And so she's like, yeah, just look for it. And then if you can't find it, come back and we'll get you a replacement card and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, I looked around. There was like a Holly Black book that I was looking at. It's like a middle grade book, but I didn't end up getting that because I was like, I've got so many books at home to read right now. There's no reason for me to check out books that other people can enjoy at the library. So I didn't do that. And I looked at some of the new releases that were in fiction and some of the new releases in young adult. They actually have Love Creekwood, which I thought was just an audiobook, but they actually have that at the library in the young adult section. And then I got Book Pages, or Book Page, Discover Your Next Great Book. On the front of it, Witchcraft and Women's Magic from Alex Harrow, plus more bewitching books for Halloween. So we will see it as Victoria Schwab's hopeful century-hopping tale of romance and memory. Fall's biggest biographies examine the lives of John Lewis, Sylvia Plath, and more. Oh, Sylvia Plath biography might be really interesting. I read The Bell Jar when I was like in college, and I was like profoundly impacted by that book. I remember it feeling kind of like surreal and otherworldly when I read it, and it's been a long time. So let's see what books they have in here. Oh, this is so funny. Martin Amis, Inside Story, a novel. Look at that cover right there. Do you see the cover? That cover looks like a Little Life by Hannah Sharat? Is that what it's called? Audio. Oh. Tanya calling me. I have to call her back. I have to call you back in just a second, Tanya Jean. Okay. That's my best friend Tanya calling. So they have like all of these, okay, audio attachments by Rainbow Rowell, I already read. The Hungover Games, A True Story by Sophie Hedwood. 5.5 hours. Gossipy Brunch with Your Wittiest Friend, British entertainment journalist. Hedwood takes us on a journey of unexpected single motherhood while living in Los Angeles, from her affair with an immature rocker to her attempts at dating with a baby at home. She takes life advice from the celebrities she profiles, and I feel like I have something on the bottom of my eye, and sometimes gets a little too personal with them. Hedwood's narration makes the book... What is on my eye? There's something on my eye. You can see it when I'm like looking down. Oh, what is on my eye? It's crazy. I can see it on the end of my lash, and I can't get it off. Don't you hate that? Okay. Anyway, that book doesn't sound very good. Okay. Spine-tingling paperback selections. And they have Waking the Witch, Reflections on Women, Magic, and Power by Pam Grossman, The Life and Afterlife of Harry Houdini, Cannibalism. They're all like nonfiction. To Tell You the Truth by Gilly Macmillan. How do I know her? How do I know that author? Why does that name sound so familiar? Okay, let's see what else. And then Whodunits. A bunch of them that don't look very good to me. Cozies. They're called Cozies. Death on the Green. It looks like there's like a dog and a cat, two dogs or something that have something to do with this. 15 Minutes of Fame. Nantucket candle shop owner Stella Wright is transforming a friend's abandoned house into a Halloween wonderland with help from the local Girl Scouts. A separate building on the property reveals an old chandlery and a skeleton. I thought she was calling it again. And a skeleton combines the historical mystery with present-day murder, all against the spooky backdrop of new... Oh, that looks good. I'm gonna dog ear that. I'm gonna get that one. 15 Minutes of Fame by Kristen Beecher. The deep bench Wait, the deep bench of suspects includes an ambitious producer who wants to film the skeleton for a Netflix special, and a local woman who claims to speak for the spirits of the dead. The history of candle clocks and the way they feature in the story's conclusion is a fascinating bonus. Okay, I'm gonna get that. That looks good. That is called 15 Minutes of... Oh, 15 Minutes of Flame, like a candle flame. That's cute, isn't it? Okay, Murder on the High Seas, The Devil in the Dark Water, Chilling Tales for Colder Nights, Snow, Conspiracy. These amateur detectives aren't so retiring. British quiz show host Richard Osman introduces a hilarious and lovable group of geriatric sleuths. The Thursday Murder Club. Let's see. Books that legitimately made us laugh out loud. I'm not a person that loves to, like, I don't love, like, funny haha books. Like, I like thrillers or scary books or whatever. Better Days Will Come. Finding defiant joy amid unusual times, Victoria Schwab's immortal Addie LaRue is the hero we need in 2020. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, V.E. Schwab. Here she is, Victoria Schwab. I've never seen a picture of her before. Very pretty. I love to see authors' pictures. Okay, Casting Spells Upon Your Shelves. Plain Bad Heroines, The Once and Future Witches, and Alice Hoffman, Magic Lessons. I love Alice Walker. I've only read like one or two of her books. I think I've read two of her books, Practical Magic and Aquamarine, which was like a middle school book about, every page on here is about Halloween. More Halloween reads, Back from the Dead. So yeah, I read Aquamarine, which was a middle school book about, what do you call it? A mermaid. And then Larger Than Life, John Steinbeck, and Eleanor Roosevelt, John Meacham, James Beard, Malcolm X, and Sylvia Plath. No, the nonfiction books about them. Okay. None of these look that good. The Sharp Line Storyteller. Other comics. The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Popular fiction. Fresh from the loss of her job in a dreary English town, she thinks of a conveying bell of despair. Something about her and a librarian. Dancing with the Octopus, a memoir. Some memoir recounts riveting stories. Others are notable for their masterful storytelling. When Hardy was 12, she was abducted at knife point from her church parking lot in Omaha, Nebraska. Oh, Lord. God, there's... Okay. She Come By It Natural, Sarah Smarsh, Dolly Parton memoir. Or Dolly Parton biography. Might be interesting. There's a lot of good stuff in here. I don't think I've ever gotten this little magazine before. Maybe I have, I don't know. Young adult books in the back. They have two. Oh, Watch Over Me, Nina LaCour. Oh, there's Nina LaCour. Is that how you pronounce her name? I really liked... Was she part of Let It Snow? I think she was. I really liked her short stories that were in the Stephanie Perkins anthologies. Which, if you've never read, you should. They're great. All Aboard, a perfect book to cuddle up with and savor, and even better to read aloud with someone you love. Adam Gidwitz, best-selling in Newberry. Okay, I don't know what this is. The Silver Arrow. That looks kind of good. Let's see. Anyway. All 13, The Incredible Cave Rescue of the Thai Boys Soccer Team. Never heard of that. Nick Hornby. Wasn't he the one that wrote the book, but that was made into that one movie? I can't think. Fanny Flagg. The Wonder Boy of Whistle Stop. Oh, these are for book clubs and readers of women's fiction. For readers of The Night Circus and Magicians and Discovery of Witches, a deadly education and novel. So they have recommendations on here for fans of which books you like to read. For readers of David Nichols and Taylor Jenkins Reid, Nick Hornby. What was that book that he wrote? It was about a record shop. Anyway, so that's that. Now, I'm going to tell you where I'm at. First of all, I wanted to tell you the book that I just started. So the book that I just started is called, hold on a second, let me get into it. Magical Midlife Madness, narrated by Nicole Poole, and it's by K.F. Breen. And it is a series, and I'm really excited about it. It's 7 hours and like 9 minutes long. I'm 2 minutes into it. And it's about this woman that gets divorced, and her son goes to college, and she's like in her 40s, or she's 40. And she moves in with her parents in this small town, like north of Los Angeles. And something to do with like, it's about her practicing magic, and it's supposed to be like adventurous. So I'm really excited about that. I just finished, hold on, I'll tell you what the next series is in that, but that's the other one too. I just finished the Dorinda Jones book, A Bad Day for Sunshine, which we'll talk about in just a second. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. But I bought the first book in her past series, which has like 13 or 14 books in it. And the first book is called First Grave on the Right. And it's about this woman, and ow! Damn it. And she's a grifter, and she like tries to get these people to go into the light, and a lot of them are like murdered supposedly. And so while she's getting them to go into the light, they want her to like bring justice to what happened to them. And so it's her solving the cases supposedly. So they're like murder mysteries told by this like grim, did I say Reaper? By like this grim Reaper. Anyway, I loved the TV show back in the day. There was like 2 seasons, and then they did like a movie to tie it all up because it got canceled, and it was called Dead Like Me, and I loved it. And it was about this group of grim Reapers that were all friends, and it was like all these things that happened to them, and them kind of solving mysteries and things that had happened to their family that was still left behind. This one girl, she was like the main character. So I'm really excited about reading that series. I have to say, my newfound favorite author, well, you know, I have a couple favorites, but when people ask me like, who's your newest favorite author that you found in the last couple years, I always say Blake Crouch. Blake Crouch is just absolutely amazing. I've loved everything I've read by him, and I can't wait for his next book to come out. But I have to say Dorinda Jones might be, well, now we'll see what I think of this first book in her new series, but I think she might be one of my new favorites, like top 5 new favorites, top 3 new favorites. This book, there was just something very comforting about reading it. It's about this girl, about this woman named Sunshine Vikram, and she comes from this town called Del Sol, New Mexico. She grew up there. She was abducted when she was 17, and now she is returning home with her 14, almost 15-year-old daughter, and she has been elected the sheriff of the town, and her parents got her elected, and she has no idea how she got elected. But she's the sheriff of this town, and on day 1, like, this girl gets abducted. And so it's like her trying to figure out the backstory to who abducted her, because that case was never solved. And I'm drinking some apple cider that I got at this farm today, this Wilson Farm Market out in the middle of nowhere, that I did a review on my review channel. So I'm gonna drink some of this apple cider. I love apple. Do you guys love apple cider? I love it. I'm gonna light some candles when I get home and get real homey. And so anyway, it's about this girl that's been abducted, her relationship with her parents. Her daughter has her own mystery that's going on, but her daughter is kind of like helping her like solve this mystery as well, because the girl that gets abducted is like her only friend she's ever made in this town. And then it's a lot about her daughter and the high school that she goes to, the new high school, and like her meeting people and how like they are towards her, and they think she's like this narc because her mom's the sheriff, and this New Year's party got busted and they think it's because of her and all this kind of stuff. It's very, very good. The characters are so well developed in this book, and you feel like you know them. It really reminded me a lot, I don't know why, just the feeling of it reminded me of Murder, She Wrote, kind of, except for that it's like newer, she's younger, and it takes place like outside of Santa Fe. And of course there's like a romance in it, so there's a romance piece to her daughter's life and to her own. And so it's the first book in a series. The second book comes out next May. I'll tell you, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. The second book comes out next May. And it didn't have like any like profound meaning or anything to it. It just was such an enjoyable read. I had so much fun reading it. And it comes out, so the sequel comes out next May, and it's called A Good Day for Chardonnay, I think. It very much like ties everything up with this story, but leaves certain mysteries open that I think are gonna like go through the different books. Does that make sense? I don't want to tell you which one those are, because I would say there's probably like 5 mysteries that occur in this book, and like 3 or 4 of them are kind of left open at the end. But like there's like one major case. Can we just talk about these trees, how beautiful these trees are that have changed already? But there's like one major like mystery that is like the main mystery of the book, and so that one's like solved and wrapped up. But anyway, I gave it 5 out of 5. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fantastic. You should check it out. Dorinda Jones. I don't know who recommended this series to me. They direct messaged me and they commented on my video, so I've got to find out who it was. But I'm really, really excited to start her last series too. So I think the main character is called Charlie Davidson in this series. But anyway, so that's where I'm at with reading, or audible listening to. I'm also reading the Harlequin novel that I bought, because my grandma used to like this. It's so bad, you guys. I'm like really having a hard time getting through it. And then I'm also reading the Lemony Snicket first book. I think it's called A Bad Beginning, or The Bad Beginning. I just kind of stopped reading those last week, but I should have had them done by now. I really, really like the Lemony Snicket book, so I'm going to read the next one as soon as I get done with it. So that's where I'm at with reading right now, and I'm getting really excited to make my Halloween fall picks for the month of October. And we had the live stream for the book club, and it was fantastic. We had so much fun. We had like 90 to 100 people in there the whole time talking about the Chris Watts case. This month for the book club, we are reading the Sinatra Club, and it was Mel's pick. It's by Sal Polisi, who was part of the mob, and it's basically his memoir, and about this club that was ran that was called the Sinatra Club. And so anyway, if you want to join the book club, it's listed below. Just go over to Facebook or Goodreads and join it, and you're a member. It's really that simple. Friday is Mel's birthday, so please reach out to Mel on Friday on Instagram, or Twitter or whatever. Her Instagram is linked below my videos. And yeah, so that's that. So anyway, it's Mel's birthday month, and I'm really excited about Halloween and all the books that I'm going to read this month. I cannot wait. So anyway, I love you guys. That's where I'm at with my reading. I just wanted to do an end of the month wrap up. I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. Love you. Bye.